If you think you could survive Earth's deadliest era, think again. Millions of years ago, stepping onto land meant walking straight into death. The land wasn't just dangerous. It was a death trap where everything was designed to destroy you. But in a bizarre twist of nature, the ocean, the place we've always feared, was actually the safest refuge. How could such a strange reality exist, and why has no one ever talked about this in history? This is the story of Earth's deadliest era, and why the ocean was humanity's only hope for survival. Imagine a massive supercontinent where all of today's continents were united into one, stretching endlessly, Pangea. But instead of lush forests or fertile valleys, Pangea appeared as a barren wasteland, with dust and cracked earth stretching to the horizon. It was not a place for life to thrive, but a harsh arena where survival wasn't just a challenge, but an unending battle. Pangea during the Permian Period was like a massive furnace, with average temperatures exceeding 35 degrees. And at the center of the supercontinent, temperatures soared to catastrophic levels. Scorching hot winds swept across the surface like invisible blades, carrying waves of searing sand. Vegetation and water sources, essential elements for survival, had nearly completely vanished. Each gust of wind carried not only deadly heat, but also suffocating air, serving as nature's grim warning of impending death. It wasn't just the weather. Pangea's terrain itself was a deadly trap. Mountain ranges like the central Pangean Mountains stood tall like colossal walls, blocking all cooling breezes from the oceans. They isolated vast parts of the land into a stifling environment where moisture evaporated before it could form rain. The southern valleys, where water still lingered, were far from an ideal refuge. The water here was laden with toxic chemicals from volcanic eruptions, turning them into deadly lakes, where any creature daring to touch them would pay with its life. In northern Pangea, Siberia embodied the wrath of nature's destruction. The largest volcanic eruptions in Earth's history turned this region into an endless sea of fire. Ash and CO2 erupted relentlessly, blotting out sunlight and shrouding the sky in pitch-black darkness. The rare rays of light piercing through the ash only highlighted the deadly scene: scorched earth, suffocating air, and temperatures so extreme that even the hardiest creatures struggled to survive. This was truly hell on Earth. If you thought the swampy forests of eastern Pangea, like Siberia, Kazakhstan, and South China, were more hospitable, think again. These areas were deadly marshlands, where sulfuric gases rose from the ground, rendering the air so toxic it killed any creature within its first breaths. Every breath in these regions was like an invisible blade slicing through the lungs. Any creature that dared to enter these forests quickly succumbed, not from hunger or predators, but simply because they couldn't survive in an environment where the very air destroyed life. As analyzed, the land during the late Permian period was the epitome of harshness and unparalleled danger. The ruthless climate, suffocating air, and bloodthirsty predators turned it into an unending battlefield where every day was a fight for survival. Let us now explore the ferocious predators of the land. No creature could match the brutal power of Inostransevia. Measuring up to 3.5 meters in length, with a massive head taking up nearly a third of its body, it was the epitome of absolute dominance. Its powerful jaws, armed with teeth up to 15 centimeters long, could crush any prey. But Inostransevia strength wasn't just physical. It was a psychological warrior, using the sound of its heavy steps to terrify its prey. Once it spotted an unlucky Dicynodon, no matter how agile, it couldn't escape Inostransevia's deadly pounce. While not as destructive as Inostransevia, Gorgonopsids possessed incredible agility and exceptional hunting strategies. Measuring nearly 3.5 meters long with razor-sharp teeth, they were predators that delivered silent deaths. However, What made Gorgonopsids truly terrifying wasn't their muscular strength, but their ability to stalk prey from a distance. Like ghosts, they patiently awaited the moment their prey let its guard down, then charged with unbelievable speed. A single leap, and their knife-like teeth sliced into the prey's body. Death was instantaneous. Unlike the powerful attackers like Gorgonopsids, Therocephalians epitomized finesse in hunting. Though only about 1.5 meters long, they possessed a deadly weapon: venom. Therocephalians didn't rush into attacks. Instead, they waited for their prey to make a mistake. With patience and cold eyes, they hid in the shadows, ready to spring out and inject venom into their prey, rendering them helpless in moments. Prey struck by their venom had no chance to fight back, as life faded away silently. In this world, Megawaitsia was not just a predator, it was a nightmare. Measuring up to 3 meters in length, with a powerful body and devastating jaws, Megawaitsia was the terror of all land creatures. Its cone-shaped, sharp teeth didn't just tear flesh, but also crushed bones. It didn't recklessly charge at its prey, but instead waited for mistakes, observing from a distance with keen eyesight and a sharp sense of smell. Upon spotting a Dicynodon foraging for food, Megawaitsia would approach like a phantom. Its attack was a perfect blend of speed and power. A strong lunge, razor-sharp claws gripping the prey, and massive jaws sinking into its neck. The Dicynodon was left as a pile of scraps, a testament to Megawaitsia's absolute dominance. Beneath the murky waters of rivers and swamps, Prionosuchus, a massive amphibian up to 4 meters long, lurked in the shadows. Its crocodile-like body allowed it to hide perfectly underwater, with only its watchful eyes exposed. When unsuspecting prey ventured too close, Prionosuchus would suddenly lunge like an arrow. A snap of its giant jaws dragged the prey underwater, where in the dark depths, it used its immense strength to hold its victim tightly. The prey's body gradually weakened, its life extinguished in the watery darkness. No one could escape the deadly trap of Prionosuchus. In the swamps, Ariops was a formidable predator, over 2 meters long, with short legs and thick, wrinkled skin. Perfectly adapted to aquatic environments, Ariops used its cone-shaped sharp teeth to hunt prey. When a fish or small amphibian came into view, Ariops would surge from beneath the water without warning, delivering a powerful bite that ended the prey's life instantly. However, despite its strength in the water, Ariops wasn't entirely safe, as it often faced more powerful predators like Gorgonopsids or Inostrancevia. Dimetrodon, measuring 4.5 meters long, was one of the earliest predators to utilize its dorsal sail to regulate body temperature, allowing it to function more effectively in harsh environments. With a powerful body and sharp teeth, Dimetrodon was a predator that quickly ended its victims' lives in an instant. Its strength and finesse not only terrified prey, but also demonstrated its remarkable adaptation in an unforgiving world. Measuring over 6 meters in length, Titanophonius was a ruthless giant of the land. It didn't hunt alone. It often employed teamwork to take down massive creatures like Pariasaurus. With overwhelming strength and a precise strategy, Titanophonius dominated the food chain, instilling fear in all creatures around it with its brutal collaboration and hunting prowess. Ankylosaurus was one of the most dangerous predators of the Permian Period. With its massive size and sharp teeth, it had a bite force strong enough to crush bones effortlessly. Ankylosaurus didn't just hunt its prey. It tore apart victims to assert its absolute dominance. Its bite marks were a signature of brutality, representing not just survival, but an ultimate display of power in this wild world. Megastotherium, measuring up to 5 meters in length, was a fearsome predator that relied on ambush tactics to take down large prey. A single powerful pounce could crush its victim, no matter how large the herbivore. No prey could escape its attack. When Megastotherium appeared, death was almost certain. Life on land during this period wasn't life. It was an endless war. Every creature faced two unavoidable enemies: the harsh forces of nature and merciless predators. Every breath, every step felt like a gamble with death. Land wasn't a place for life. It was a domain of collapse, where all hope faded under the relentless power of nature and the creatures that dominated it. While the land was a portrait of death, the Panthalassa Ocean offered a precious glimmer of hope. As the largest superocean ever to exist, Panthalassa covered more than 60% of the planet's surface. Though not entirely tranquil, with its vast waters and lurking dangers, the ocean served as a refuge for life. It was a place where organisms evolved to survive. The first threat in the ancient ocean was Scorching. With its slender body and length of about 2 meters, it was one of the most formidable predators in the shallow seas. Often lurking in the shadows of coral reefs, it used its sharp eyesight to track every movement. Once it spotted prey, Scorching struck like a lightning bolt, snapping its razor-sharp teeth shut in an instant. For smaller creatures like juvenile fish or crustaceans, seeing its silhouette was akin to a death sentence. With lengths of up to 2 meters, Eurypterids were not merely predators. They were the embodiment of terror in shallow waters. These giant sea scorpions dominated the ancient ocean floor, using their strength and sharp pincers to turn any unlucky creature into a meal. Eurypterids moved silently across the sand, approaching their prey undetected. Once close enough, they launched a lightning-fast attack, swift, powerful, and precise. The prey often had no time to resist, left only to struggle futilely as it was dragged into deeper waters to be torn apart. In deeper waters, Hybodus, a shark about 2 meters long, was renowned as a terrifying predator. Unlike Scorching, Hybodus didn't rush to attack immediately, but patiently circled its prey. When the moment was right, it used its powerful double jaws to crush the shells of creatures like ammonoids, turning them into a delectable meal. The cold, calculating eyes of Hybodus served as a chilling reminder of the ocean's harshness. Hidden deep in dark waters, Xenacanthus, a prehistoric shark, earned the nickname Ghost of the Depths. Measuring about 1.5 meters in length, it wasn't a giant predator, but its deadly hunting strategies and eerie silence turned the ocean floor into an inescapable trap for its prey. Xenacanthus used its flexible body to herd its victims into tight corners where escape was impossible. Then, it delivered a decisive attack, a powerful bite from jaws lined with sharp teeth, tearing apart its prey before they even understood what was happening. Ammonoids, with their hard spiral shells, were symbols of resilience in aquatic life. These shells not only protected them from attacks, but also helped regulate buoyancy, enabling them to move effortlessly through water layers. When chased, ammonoids could expel water through their siphons to propel themselves quickly away from predators. Oxygen-rich shallow waters were their ideal habitat for growth, while the oxygen-deficient depths served as safe havens, far from the threats of aggressive predators. Coral reefs were the heart of the ocean ecosystem, providing shelter for many small crustaceans like ancient water bugs and primitive shrimp. These creatures exploited the crevices in the reef structures to evade sudden attacks. With their hard shells and strong claws, they not only foraged for food, but also protected themselves from predators. Orthoceras, a mollusk with a long body and distinctive coiled shell, was a notorious hunter in this ecosystem. It expelled powerful jets of water to accelerate, used its tentacles to coil around its prey, and dragged the victim into its sharp, menacing jaws. This is a prime example of the harshness and superior hunting skills that characterized life in the Panthalassa Ocean. Trilobites, small yet resilient warriors, dominated the ocean floor for over 270 million years, with their armor-like exoskeletons and exceptional compound eyes. Their segmented shells not only provided protection from predators, but also enabled them to roll up into living fortresses, intimidating even bloodthirsty hunters like eurypterids. These survival masters expertly buried themselves in seabed mud, evading predators while foraging for valuable food sources. Fossils of trilobites are a testament to a chaotic era, where they overcame countless challenges, becoming eternal symbols of resilience and timeless ingenuity. Leadsichthys, exceeding 16 meters in length, was a symbol of size and dominance in the ancient ocean. Not a predator, it was a master filter feeder, using its enormous mouth to consume millions of plankton daily. Its massive form forced any predator to think twice before approaching, as a single powerful tail sweep could create destructive waves, sweeping away weaker foes. Leadsichthys was not only a gentle giant, but also a testament to the ultimate supremacy of size and endurance in the chaotic ecosystems of the ancient world. Each of these creatures represented a unique survival strategy, but all paid a high price on land, a place so unforgiving that even the largest and strongest animals struggled to endure. Meanwhile, under the ocean, which was once dominated by massive predators, ecosystems had calmed after the Capetanian extinction event. Smaller creatures like ammonoids and hybidus found new opportunities to survive in the absence of apex predators. This transformation turned the ocean into a relatively safe haven during a time when the land became a living nightmare. Even though herbivorous species fought relentlessly to survive, the brutality of nature and predators like Inostrancavia plunged terrestrial life into an endless struggle with constant threats to their existence. Ultimately, when the Permian extinction event struck, all life, both on land and in the seas, was pushed to the brink. The stories of the Permian period are not solely about death. They are reminders that life always finds ways to evolve, adapt, and survive, even under the harshest conditions. Species like Lystrosaurus, with their resilience, overcame the mass extinction and carried their legacy into the future. This stands as proof of life's indomitable spirit, a faint glimmer in the thick darkness, yet one that never fully extinguishes. The Permian period ended in tragic devastation, but it also marked the beginning of a new chapter for the planet. Catastrophes not only destroy, but also regenerate. In the ashes of this era, the foundations for the Triassic period and the emergence of even greater animals were laid. The Permian extinction serves as a reminder that Earth is ever-changing, and species unable to adapt will inevitably be left behind. Can humanity learn this lesson as it confronts the crises of today?